brand new day. My name is Ramon Ray. We're going to talk today about 8 success tips for solopreneurs and more. 8 success tips for solopreneurs and more. I am live on video and live on Clubhouse, the social audio app. Those of you who are on Clubhouse, BWC, the show is no different. On mic, talk to me, interrupt me. It's not even an interruption. I'm just going live on video because I like the power of video. I like that multi-dimensional aspect. So hence I'm going live, but on BWC side, feel free to continue on. Taryn, it's good to see you here, man. Thanks for your story. It's good to meet you in Atlanta. And thanks for sharing with me, not just your book, but of course your story is so more important. Mary Kim, it's always good to see you here. The smile, the voice, the energy of security and just consistency. Adrian, what an amazing human you are. Thanks for being on the stage, of course. T.M. Hyman, America's favorite mentor. Leadership on Demand is here in the room with us, traveling in these streets always. Glenn Rudin just finished his segment on Fridays, The Message Master. If you don't know Glenn Rudin, definitely get to know him better. Those of you who are watching me, watching my face right now, I'm on also live streaming on Clubhouse, the social audio app. Good to see you, John. Thanks for your years of service and so many things you've done, John. Podcast, reaching hundreds of thousands and millions a day. Tanya, good to have you here. Najami, good to have you here. Maria, good to have you here. Chima, good to have you here. Valerie, Tricia, Cree, Marie, Stacy, Brian, and Mary Lynn. Good to have you all here. Thanks for those of you who are in the listening lounge. Glad you're here as well. If you choose to jump up and come on up. Thank you, Carlos. That was very kind of you, brother. Soul Salcedo, good to have you here. There was a moment when I thought you said you were going to be speaking more, Soul, and being up in the other row, but I don't know if that is the case, but we will leave that alone for today. But it's good to see you here. River, good to have you here. Chris and Sonia and so many others are here in the listening lounge. Derek and Vicky and Miss, I see you, and so many others are here. So good. Glad you're all here today. My name is Ramon Ray. Scott Simons, for those who are waiting for him to show up, guess what? He is not going to show up. He is at 10X Con or Growth Con with Grant Cardone and others. And I'm holding Fort down today, usually me and or T.M. Hyman co-host with him. Today I'm going, as it were, solo today, and I got a lot jam-packed in the next 54 minutes to share with you all today. So again, welcome. I'm going to pause from time to time. What I like about on the Clubhouse side is because of the fact that you all can interact with me on the Breakfast with Champions side. But I notice sometimes the stage is a bit quiet, and we do have a smaller stage today. And here's my thing. I want to be clear. When I pause, it's not necessarily because I need you to say anything. I can talk for 6 hours nonstop. Trust me on that. I got material. I can just click my browser and go on all day. I got a little cup with a little hole in it. It's not a little hole in here. That's TMI. Let me just move forward. I got a little cup. I got a cup so I can do what I need to do. I got some water, all those kind of things. So let's move on to today's show. And again, let me pause real quick. Anybody on the BWC side want to unmic or say anything before I begin? And if not, you may be just ready for the show. What's up, John? Talk to me, man. Talk to me, brother. Thank you. Boom. Thank you, John. Appreciate that. Everybody, that was John Wiley. Those watching on video, amazing human and member of the BWC crew here. Anybody else wanted to join in on the BWC side? And if not, we'll start the show. And the show's already started, but I'll have 3 separate segments I want to jump into today, and we'll pause in between. But anybody wanted to jump in now, just unmic, say your name, and jump on in. And if not, I'll keep moving. All right. Here we go. So one interesting news of the day pulled from the headlines of LinkedIn. I got 3 separate segments I'm going to jump in today. Klarna. Many of you know Klarna, but many of you don't. And my job here on the show here is to provide information, insights to you. I am not the message master. Yeah, I can talk about messaging, but that's not what I do. I'm definitely not America's favorite mentor. In fact, studies have shown, I was looking through Forbes, I'm on the top America's Worst Mentors of the Year awards. So there we go, T.M. Hyman. I still got my kudos, but it's America's Worst Mentor. That's my title, brother. What can I say? Let me move forward here. And I'm definitely not America's favorite LinkedIn person. That's Adrienne Barker. I think her name is Barker. Let me click on her name before I say her name wrong. Let me see. Let me click on her. I can't even click on her face on Clubhouse. Well, it is Barker. What's up, Adrienne? So Klarna is this amazing app that enables you especially, but not only, but especially for those of you with high ticket offers. Let's say your offer is $25,000. Let's take Glenn Rudin. He has a $25,000 offer for his Message Master program. He can use a service like Klarna Klarna gives him the $25,000. You then can pay a monthly fee to Klarna, and basically Glenn can give you financing for his services. So Klarna is this big, quote unquote, $1 billion company, and it's interesting to see their rise. I just saw the headline that said DoorDash debuts, eat now, pay later. So you can buy that $17 sandwich and pay it, I guess, $1 per month for the next 17 months. See that's a whole. See, TM, please don't come off my GA. Please calm down, people. I don't understand why people need to finance sushi, why they need to finance a bowl of noodles, why you need to finance French fries and a bottle of Coca-Cola. I don't understand it. But that wasn't my point of the day, people. Is that Klarna, if you're not using Klarna, especially for those of you with high ticket services, you may want to look at them, or there's others that compete with them. Klarna, Klarna. But just looking at the news from LinkedIn, DoorDash debuts eat now, pay later. And again, half of it. Why in the world do you need to finance 4 burritos and a bottle of Mexican Coca-Cola? I don't know. I'm just going to leave that alone. But again, maybe in a way it is financing, because how many of you put that stuff on credit cards? Whether you have to or don't have to. I know me, that's my challenge. I put things on credit cards so fast, debt goes up, and I'm like, whoa, not that I didn't have it, I just didn't pay attention. So mixing a lot of messages here. Mary Lynn, you're right. No, go ahead. I was saying you're right. DoorDash could be, because I didn't read the depth. On the corporate side for DoorDash, now I get it. So you're saying it's not for the $3 French fries. You're saying it was probably for that $3,000 BWC order that Mary Lynn did. Is that what I'm hearing you say, Mary Lynn? Mm. Hmm. I think you're right, Mary Lynn. Mary Lynn, listen, can you just be with me throughout life? Because I'm the kind of guy, Mary Lynn. If no, really, really, Mary Lynn, stay with me here. If the escalator stopped, I'd sit down and wait for them to fix it. That's me. So, Mary Lynn, now you just took the show. No, see, you just not Mary Lynn. You know, you and I don't vibe with the music and the culture and all that. So you can't. Yeah, I can't hang with you. Marilyn Wilkin, head of BWC. Smart thinking. I love it. So I'm going to recap that. Those who didn't hear, it could be indeed not for those, trying to get a $7 taco or whatever it is. Hey, Phyllis, glad you're here. It really could be for that more corporate order. I love it. 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 Thank you, Mary Glenn. Appreciate that. Yes, Carlos, I'm feeling much better. Appreciate that. Wasn't feeling great for a period of time, but I'm feeling much better. Moving forward, and then I'm going to pause after these headlines and give other people a chance if you want to dive in. Listen, I just saw the headline. Many of you may know Perplexity. Some may not, but Perplexity competes with ChatGPT, competes with Claude, competes with other AI type of tools. Perplexity is targeting an $18 billion valuation, looking to raise funds. Stop. That's not the headline. That's not the headline. The headline I want to give is my coach has told me I need to stop being so distracted. When I look at these headlines of the day, Perplexity having an $18 billion valuation. Wow, I wish I could be like that. Or how did they get there? Whatever it may be. I think to myself, I don't even know how to say what I'm trying to say, but I guess it's just that's the headline of the news of the day. CNBC, Wall Street Journal, the high risk takers playing with money differently. But I'm like, you know what, Ramon, if you could pay yourself $200,000 a year, 250, 300,000 a year, Ramon, and build an $800,000 million, $2, $3, $4 million company with a small team, you might be more happy, Ramon, and quote unquote a bigger company in context than Perplexity. And there's no competition. I'm not trying to compete with them like that. I'm just trying to be open with y'all if it makes sense what I'm trying to say, with the head games, with the mind games that go in my own head. That's what I'm trying to confess to you. You see what I mean? I'm trying to confess to you the mind games. Hey, it's good to see you, Michelle Klein. I'm trying to just share with you the head games that go in my head. And it may not even be Perplexity targeting $18 billion. Can I confess something else to you? It could be, oh, wow, Leadership on Demand has chapters all across the country. Why can't Celebrity CEO have chapters across? What did I do wrong? Oh, Maria, she's getting into real estate. Oh my God, I keep hearing about real estate. How does she do that? I can, you see what I mean? So I'm throwing a lot in there. I kind of mix a lot when I talk, but I'm guessing that somebody here understands what I'm trying to express. I started with the Perplexity target $18 billion valuation. That's a nugget. That's a point. And how Ramon's looking at that like, ooh, that's cool. But it's not just 18 billion. It's other things as well we look at. And to be clear, let me be clear one thing here, is that when you get outside funding in general, I'm not talking about even payday loans, but when you get somebody else's money, Scott Simon jokes on this. Ramon, you give somebody money, you never hear from them. You give somebody else money, they own you, people. Do understand that. So Trisha's like, oh, Ramon, I need to build something. Can you invest $500 with me? Trish, I don't know if I should be investing $500 in you. That's something you should just, drive Uber for a few blocks and get it yourself. So be careful can you help me out? Can you give me money? Be careful of that, because what these boys and girls are doing for billion-dollar valuations, it's a whole different game. One more headline I'm going to talk about, then I'll pause and see if anybody on the BWC side wants to jump in. Again, everybody, my name is Ramon Ray. This is the Celebrity CEO Show, live streaming on video. Hey, Deborah Williams, glad you're here. Live stream on video. I just like doing it. I figured, why waste just audio when I can live stream on video and use the content for something else? And of course, my main foundation and pillar at home here is Breakfast with Champions, Clubhouse audio only app, birthed out of COVID. And there's hundreds of us a day that have live programming Monday through Friday, led by Marilyn Wilkin and a whole team of rowdy rousers who put this programming and serve and make sure we have good programming about mindset and finance and health and so many other things. And we have host different segments here today. So glad you're all here today. Jessica, good to have you here. Richard, good to have you here. So one more headline I wanted to bring up. It's similar to what I just mentioned. Apple TV is losing $1 billion a year. So a few things I wanted to unpack when I saw this. Now I know this, again, these are ripped from the headline things, but there's no headline that's going to be Adrian Barker lost 10,000 this year. There's just no headlines like that. Maria, she sold a home today. We don't read headlines like that. It's just, we don't see that. We see the big things. So I look at these big headlines and see what can I learn from it. Few things. A, what kind of risk are you willing to take, even if it don't work out? I don't know if Apple TV is going to continue. I don't know if it will or not. But I know one thing, Apple knows it has to try to get into the media business. It's got to try. It's got to try. And it has the money. Contextually, maybe you don't have $1 billion. Maybe you have 20,000, 50,000, 100,000. It's got to try. So Apple is doing it. And sometimes you have to be willing to learn. Sometimes you have to be willing to take a risk. Sometimes you have to be willing to do things that may be a bit uncomfortable before you see the success. Now, the thing about content, it says here, the headline, Apple is good at making money. Apple TV, not so much, hemorrhaging $1 billion a year, the information reports. This has prompted CEO Tim Cook to take a harder line on reining in costs, despite a reported $5 billion annual content budget for Apple TV. Frankly, I think the reason Apple TV is losing this money is because they haven't come to me and asked me to do Ramon Ray Show on Apple TV. I think that Tim Cook, CEO of Apple, I think he's afraid to call me. That's what I think. I think he's sitting there, this little San Jose, Santa Monica, wine country, wherever these people are at. You can laugh, Bella, all day long. You can laugh, Bella, but it's the fear, Bella. I think he has my number. He probably got it at some event that we were doing. He could have been at Creative Con for all I know. He's probably a member of Leadership on Demand for all I know. And I bet he wants to call me, but he's afraid to call me. He doesn't want to make the call. So I'm telling you, CEO Tim Cook, if you're tired of Apple TV losing $1 billion a year, the reason why you're losing money, you're talking to Steve Harvey, you're talking to Katy Perry, you're talking to all these people, the names that Marilyn Wilkin has, all these names she's making up like singers and stuff. You need to call me Ramon Ray. Call me, Steve Cook, and I'll get you out of that $1 billion hole. Listen, everybody, my name is Ramon Ray, ripped from the headlines. I got 2 more segments to go, but I will pause a bit on the BWC side. Anybody want to unmic, say your name, jump in on anything you wanted to share. And if not, no problem. I will go to segment number 2. Come on, TM. Come on, TM. You exactly. Yeah. You are exact. You know what? Something told me, Ramon, you got his number. Just text him at least say, yo, Tim. I don't even call him Tim. I call him T. Yo, T, what's up? Why don't you know what, Tim? TM? Thank you, man. Thank you for that. Brian Swift, talk to me, brother. What's up, man? Absolutely. Brian, I appreciate that. And Deborah Williams on the video side, she says, I love that call. She said, yes, call Ramon, Tim. And then TM chimed in and said, Ramon, just call Tim yourself. Hey, Alexandra Nicole, glad you're here. Those who are watching us streaming on video, glad you all are here today. Anybody else want to join in? Brian Swift, again, good to hear your voice, brother, and good to get to know you better and better as we move on throughout the next few months. Anybody else wanted to join? If not, I'll go to segment 3, but say your name and unmic if you like. If not, no problem. Hey, Tim, how are you? Finally called, Tim. Yeah, hold on one second. He's a little busy right now. What's up, Tim Cook? Tim Cook, a.k.a. Chima. Talk to us, Chima. Welcome. Yes, indeed. Thanks for being here, Chima. Appreciate you being here. Valued member. You're welcome, brother, of the BWC. Anybody else? We got plenty of time. 21 minus 60, whatever that is. We got plenty of time. Anybody else want to join? Okay, cool. Let's move forward then. All right. Again, keep the comments flowing. Let's see here. I'm glad. Yes. Okay, good. Those are older comments. They're good. So again, everybody, welcome. My name is Ramon Ray, the Celebrity CEO. Get to know me better at celebritysceo.com. I'm going to share a few tips on going to segment number 2. And this is no secret to success. 8 things I've learned about how to be a success as a solopreneur. Somebody then asked me, Ramon, how can I get an agent to get on more stages? And I'm going to quickly go through about, 57,000 points I have here about getting an agent as a speaker. I'm going to share that. And if you sign up for Celebrity CEO, just go to celebritysceo.com, celebritysceo.com, sign up for our little personal branding blueprint. It's not little, it's a substantive personal branding blueprint. I will be emailing later on today these tips to you. So those hearing the sound of my voice, seeing me, whatever it is, just go to make sure you're signed up to Celebrity CEO at celebritysceo.com. And I will be sending you these 8 solopreneur secrets or tips, not secrets really, and then some things I've learned about using an agent to be a professional speaker. Again, celebritysceo.com, celebritysceo.com. You can sign up for that there. So let me dive into kind of segment number 2 that I have for you today. Before I do that, I wanted to share one little thing, just a side note, technical thing, geek thing. Due to Pastor Jeff, those in the BWC side, you'll know Pastor Jeff, a valued member of our community here. And those on video can see this is called the P-Track 4 Zoom, PodTrack P4, PodTrack P4. It's a miniature audio mixer, 4-channel audio mixer that you can have 4 inputs for a microphone, 4 outputs for a headphone, and mix them in, et cetera, et cetera. So I've had this thing for a year or two. All of a sudden, the output to the cell phone or iPad or external device, what I use for Clubhouse, wasn't working. I changed the wires. I mixed this, mixed that. I changed everything I could. In fact, I even moved homes. We went to Texas for a year, went to Egypt for a year. I'm just joking, people. Nothing at all worked. I changed every wire I could. Still wasn't working. So I'm thinking, what's going wrong? Finally, I realized the only thing I hadn't changed is the Zoom PodTrack 4. But I'm like, do solid state devices, solid state things like your microwave, things that are not kind of mechanical, do they really go bad? So I text my pastor. He's, audiophile, really good in tech and all that. He said, yeah, Ramon, from time to time, soundboards and processors and stuff, they can go out. Lo and behold, I bought a 149, brand new Zoom PodTrack P4. Boop, whoop, there it is. It works fine. So just want to share a little tidbit, a technical tidbit. Make sure when things don't work that you carefully, of course, change all the software settings. Definitely do that step by step. Next, change all the little wires, make sure things are plugged in. But then third, if you've done all of that and carefully made sure you've done the simple stuff, it could be the device itself. Because rarely, again, my years of experience, I'm kind of a techie. I've been rolling in the streets of technical for a while. Rarely has it been a hardware issue, unless you can clearly see it snap. But in this case, it looks like the processor, the chip, the board, maybe something inside I couldn't see. It looked like it gate out or broke. So just wanted to share that. The tip of the day also is the Zoom PodTrack P4. It's what I'm using now. You can probably hear my voice getting a bit louder, louder, louder. Let me put it back down, right? You can hear that. So I can, independent channels and all those kind of things. So that's that. Let me pause real quick. Anybody on the BWC side, comments, questions, thought before I move on to the main segment of the day? Okay. 1, 2, 3. Cool. So moving forward, again, my name is Ramon Ray. The tips I'm going to share right now. And again, thank you all for being here on Breakfast with Champions, spending your morning with me. Glad you're here as I hail from the vacation capital of the world, New Jersey. In fact, if you want to go to vacationcapitalnj.com, vacationcapitalnj.com, you'll see why we are certified as being the vacation capital of the world. What other state has Denny's? What other state has 7-Eleven? What other state has IHOP? What other state has 2 malls on one highway? What other state has an airport? What other state has Dunkin' Donuts? Ain't nothing like Jersey, people. What other state has diners? Wherever you live, if you don't live in Jersey, you are missing out on a whole new way of life. All right, let me move forward here. 8. Mary Lynn, you always bring it. We don't have to. Now, here's for me, Mary Lynn. Mary Lynn, let me ask you a question. Is it just because I'm contrarian? I personally hate them pumping my gas. And maybe there's a little ornery in me. When the law says they have to pump your gas, the 16 years I've been here, I jump out the car to beat them to pump my gas. Mary Lynn, can you put your therapist hat on? What is wrong with me? Where does that come from? What's a law? Yeah, it's a law. Exactly. But now I must say, my wife, though, she likes it. She'll sit back, she rolls up in our little car, puts her seat back, and 7 minutes of TikTok or Instagram, whatever she does. So I don't know. That's just me, Marilyn. But thank you for that, Marilyn. But you're right, exactly. In addition to that, that's what put us over the top in the Great State Awards, is because we can pump our own gas. So moving forward here, I'm going to get to these points, but side note here, I put something in Facebook, and I need to apologize for that because I don't know if I was a good testimony representation of BWC. I put something in Facebook a few days ago that said, can we all agree that Waffle House is garbage? You would think I talked politics, TM and Mary Kim and Maria and Stacy. I've been to 2 Waffle Houses. Both were the ultimate filth of the earth. And I said what I said and meant what I meant. Oh, Lord Almighty. I thought Putin and Zelensky were at war. And I know that's not kind of funny. It's kind of funny in this context. You see, that's exactly what our friend Lamar said. He said, what? That's an Atlanta staple, TM. You see, I'm going sidetrack now, TM, but let me just explain the experience I had. First time I went there, we sat by the trash can. We were sat by the trash can, flies buzzing, and I can't remember anything else because there are so many flies. Second time I went there, TM, I'm not joking, TM. This is what happened to me. This is my truth. I went there when the fingernails almost went into my plate, when the grease was dripping on the side, and the kicker was this. I got grits and cheese, TM. I'm thinking, grits like your grandmama do at any decent restaurant. Strips of plastic came off the cheese. 3 pieces of cheese slapped on the grits. The cheese was cold. And here, honey. So I'm sorry, TM. I tried at Waffle House because I saw in all the movies, Terminator movies, all the bad guys, the good guys go. I know it's a Southern staple, but that's my scenario with Waffle House. So sorry, TM. Please, lawyer, you're welcome to defend them. And I know there may be other good ones that are good. But I know, see, TM, it's not funny, TM. That's the thing. It's not funny, brother. When the 6-inch nails go into your pancake, and when the nails come out and the syrup pulls off the nails, I mean, not pulls them off, but it sticks on them like that, then we'll see who's funny. But go ahead, TM. Tell me why Waffle House is so good. Please tell me. Oh, okay. Oh, TM, they did. Yeah, I couldn't believe people I didn't know who followed me, TM. Like, I'll just say Marshawn. Marshawn, like, she was kind of big celebrity. She wrote many books. She came all out, but she was for me. She said, I agree. No to Waffles House. So let's see who anybody in the comments. Julie saying, no, I've been to Waffles House 8 times and love it. Love it, Julie. No, she, she didn't say that. Okay, Bonnie saying those are fighting words. Well, people, that's just how I feel. Let me get to these 8 success tips for us solopreneurs. Listen to me very carefully. And these are just for my years of being in business. And I must say, listen, Adrian could say these tips, Maria could say these tips, Taryn, Chima, Tony, many people on stage here could say these tips. I don't have a lock on this. Hey, Julie Loken, good to have you here. But I was just thinking, and then I'll get to part 3 of my segment and we'll be wrapping up. But one, I did want to unequivocally share there is no secret to success. I say that because you may think there is a secret to success. There is no secret. I watch this guy, you may know him, young man who has a multiple channel with millions and millions of followers. I forgot what it is. He interviews people, a little microphone goes around. Hey, sir, excuse me. Are you a billionaire? Are you rich? They all say the same thing. I wasn't born into wealth. I worked hard. I took a risk. I lost money. I've been at this, most of them, for years. And here I am today. Now, they don't talk about how much profit they're making, all that's not important. But I just want to tell you, there is no secret to success. The difference is how much risk oftentimes TM's willing to make, how much risk Adrian's willing to make, what goals Mary Kim genuinely has, what goals Taryn generally has or does not have. So there's no secret to success. And the other thing that gives me hope is that many, especially of the founders of some of the marquee names we know, Chick-fil-A, KFC, Home Depot, these were started, they happen to be largely men, but women have the same type of, contextually success rate. But a lot of these men, they hit their stride in their 40s and 50s and older. So it gives me hope. So number one, there's no secret to success. Number two, I do believe that luck, and I don't like the word luck per se. As a Christian, I believe that my steps are ordained by God, but you'll get what I'm trying to say is that I do believe that luck has some role to play. COVID happens. I don't know anybody from Clubhouse. I don't know who they are to this day. They make an app. My friends nobody on this platform. My friends, other people, including Mike McCallum with Profit First, starts DMing me. Have you heard of Clubhouse? Because we were alone. We were lonely. I'm getting 17, 18, 19 invites. Ramona, I got one more invite. Ramona got an invite. I didn't have an iPhone, and I still don't have an iPhone today because I'm a good American. Didn't have an iPhone. So finally, I bought an iPad. Had to sanitize my whole house, bringing in that sucker into the house. Bought an iPad from Amazon, and I downloaded the Clubhouse app, and here I am today. Here I am today. I got pictures. Some of you may remember me eating croissants and coffee 4 years ago in the Clubhouse room. So my point is, I say that because my point number two, I believe luck does have some role to play in our success. Some role. Now, part of that luck, as I often like to say, is I think we also have to make our own luck. Mike McCallowitz, around him and others who you may know, in circles I'm with, them DMing me. So if somebody else DM me, maybe I wouldn't listen. But he DM me, I'm like, let me pay attention to this. Mike just don't DM for fun. So we also have to make our own luck, especially in connections and relationships. Number three, the power of building intentional relationships. Yes, we can be friends, we can be girlfriend. Yeah, what's up, girl? How you doing? What's up? How you blah, 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 blah. Yes, but also building relationships. Me and Julie Loken and Dom, we're on call number 2 or 3 about things we're considering. How can I add value to what they're doing? Me and TM are in discussions. We talk. How can we build? How can we grow together? What are y'all doing? What am I doing? So the aspects of relationships is important. Transactional is okay. No problem. Adrian Santa Ramona, I want to pay you to come and speak at my LinkedIn summit. Great, no problem. That's transactional. But it could also start from relational because she's so bubbly, so excited, always effusing compliments. Some days it's like, I don't know if she's a rainbow or a unicorn. Maybe she's both. I don't know. That's a compliment, Adrian. That's a compliment, Adrian. So build relationships. They can be business. Maybe they're personal. But I find that step number 3 to being a success as a solopreneur is building relationships. You know why? Because we don't have time to build alone. We don't have time just to be our little islands. If you're trying to make even 300,000, 500,000, 2, 3 million a year, largely it can be on what you're doing on your own, but you can get there faster and stronger by building relationships and learning to trust other people. Number 4, join groups where you can learn. And here's one thing about the groups you're in. I'm in multiple groups, including BWC. But make sure that at least some of the groups you're in, half or more of the people have more experience and are schooling you. This is important to be in. It doesn't mean you have to leave groups and et cetera, et cetera. But my point is, I find if I'm joining the, construction group of America, I don't want to be there where I turn on a saw and people are like, oh my God, that's a saw, Ramon? What is that? I'm in the wrong group. I want to be there where I can say, oh wow, what is that? That's the places I want to be in, where also I can be wowed, I can learn, I can sit at the feet of other people. And even if they don't have more experience than me, then I know that they have the creds, they've been there, done that, and that I can work with them because they add equal, as it were, value to what I'm doing. So that's number 4. When you're in groups, look around and say, am I like the smartest person here? Am I just dispensing knowledge? Or is there other people I can latch onto that are helping me soar? That's number 4. Number 5, excuse me, 5th thing I've been learning, and this has been over the past few months only, sadly, shame on me, is the importance of sales. See, I've been marketing for many, many years, and that's gotten me far. I built multiple companies making multiple 6 figures, sold a few of them, in fact, too, fed my family and more. We've been blessed. We've given money to others, been around the world. We lived well by God's grace. But in this season of slowness, I've invested in a coach, took a 2-day intensive with her and more. And she said, Ramon, the thing you're missing is sales, Ramon. You've been marketing, just talking and moving your mouth all this time, but you're not in sales. What's up, Robert Kennedy? Glad you're here, brother. Thank you for being here, Robert Kennedy, host of the Celebrity CEO Show, on Tuesdays on this very platform. Glad you're here, Robert Kennedy. And so sales is what I'm into. It's a new muscle for me. I think Tim and maybe others have been doing sales. I think Michelle, may have been in sales, cars, and other industry. I think Mary Kim as well, Mary Lynn rather as well. I think some of you have been in sales. But it's new muscle for me. Doesn't mean I don't know how to sell and all that. I'm getting good at it. But just the tracking and noting and the tactics of sales. So sales is important. If you want to make money in your business and you want to make more money, you got to, you got to sell. And this is purposely calling up leads, calling up people, making appointments and saying, let's talk. Let me hear your needs and see how I can add value. That was how the $25,000 conversation happened yesterday. It's a brand that you all know, $997 million company. And I recall now they DM'd me on LinkedIn, but the principle's the same. I listened to them, took notes, and they have a big event coming up. I said, yeah, let me host the event. And then I said, but wait, what else can we do? What brand ambassador work can I do? That was a sales call. Number 6, marketing is important. Marketing is important, and marketing and sales are different. I knew it was different academically, but now that I'm doing it, I'm seeing what the difference is. Marketing is what I do well. Flashing and pan, smiling and green, and having fun and blah, 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 blah. What I'm doing today is kind of marketing, right? When I hit live, you know how many people in my church come up to me, Ramon, you're everywhere, Ramon, you're live. I'm not. But when that live goes, it pings people's boxes. They see my name. So marketing is important. Those of you who are just doing sales, you may need to do a bit of marketing. Number 7 is learning the art of business. Learning the art of business. I'm going to pause here in a minute, get some feedback, and then I'll jump into about using an agent as a bonus, how to use an agent to grow your speaking business. But learning the art of business. And what I do find is that that's one of the stumbling blocks of people who are in business, whether they're new business owners or they're seasoned business owners. But I have people in my family, for example, they're struggling with business. And I've worked with them for many, many years. I'm not going to say who they are, but people in my family. And I realized the big thing is, besides the fact they do need help with mindset, other things, they think they know the art of business, but I realize they don't. They don't know the basics of how to get a customer, how to nurture a customer, how to get a customer to buy from them, how to get repeat business, the simple kind of brass tacks of just business fundamentals. And I'm telling you, hats off again, Julie, I mentioned you a few times here, honored what you and Dom are doing, when you do an event, you learn the art of business very quick, because I find that events have a multiplicity of levers for business. You got to market, you got to sell, you got to deal with customers, you deal with sponsors. So I find that things of that nature help you understand to some degree the art of business. So number 7 is, I encourage you, learn the art of business. And here's the thing, people. Many people who think they're entrepreneurs, or, we all, many people, shut up, we're all entrepreneurs. Happy Mother's Day, we're all entrepreneurs. Everybody's not an entrepreneur. I get, some people don't let me to hear me say that, but the point I'm trying to make is that I do believe there's an art to business. And I'm not talking about the art to service. I'm not talking about an art to, I want to make lemonade for people and give it away. God bless you. I'm not talking about I want to build a missionary school to teach children how to read. Great, wonderful. I'm not talking about, that's not business. I'm talking about you sell something to somebody who has a problem, and you're selling it to them as a profit, at a profit, and you're doing it again and again and again. You may fault, you may stumble as you do it, as I stumble every day, but I'm about in business. So my point is, one of the key things I find is that learning the art of business is important. And this is where getting a business coach is. I think Tim, I know he has expertise in this as a business coach. You mean that, say it like that, America's favorite mentor. I know Glenn Rudin, even though he has the title of message master, he can probably help in things like this. And I'm sure there's others on this platform as well. If I haven't called your name out, wasn't intentional. I just don't know everybody does exactly. But learning the art of business. And number 8, and I'm going to pause. Risk is an essential part of business. I'm not saying how much risk to take. It could be a small risk. It could be something small like, hey, me doing my first event in 2005, I dreamed of it, took my credit card to the Roosevelt Hotel in Grand Central, and I did my first event in 2006, dreamed it in 2005, did the first event in 2006 because I was tired of not being called. I've shared the story before. I was tired of not being anointed. I said, to hell with it. I will anoint myself. And I will do my own event, and I will be the king of the event. I will decide who comes. I will decide who don't come. I will be able to gift tickets away to my own freaking event. I was so annoyed. And I did it many, many years and sold it a few years later, called the Small Business Summit. My partner then was Marion Banker. So some risk you have to take. Maybe Adrienne Barker, she's like, well, I've always wanted to do a LinkedIn summit online. But she's afraid because, whatever the thing may be. No, Adrienne's got to take risk. And I'm just calling out names here, friends here. Maria, maybe she wants to do something that's a bit of a stretch. Maybe it's going to cost her $75,000. She may lose it. But maybe she knows, what? Yeah, that's within her context. You get what I'm saying? The context of what Maria can afford to lose. It's a big amount of numbers. You get what I'm saying? But meaning everybody has a different threshold. Some people are not willing to do it. I remember when I did my first event, I took my credit card, put it down. I don't regret it. I remember when I bought the domain smarthustle.com. I think I bought that domain on my American Express card for about $10,000. I sold that company later for about $400,000. I do not regret it. I wish I wouldn't have made mistakes. I wish I'd have been better with taxes and how I've invested the money and spent the money. I spent tens and tens of thousands on things that didn't work out. So on one hand, I do regret it, but I wouldn't, learn what didn't work if I didn't. But the point is, I will sell another asset. That's no question about it. Zoneofgenius.com, it's going to sell. There's no question. The question, it depends on when. So everybody, my name is Ramon Ray. Those are 8 success tips for solopreneurs. My name is Ramon Ray. We're going live stream. I can't tell if it's 1,300 or 13,000 people. I can't see. Tara Anderson is here. Glad you're here, Tara. Thanks for affirming those things. Glad y'all are here as I live stream across platforms, and hopefully people will see this on demand afterwards as well. We're also live streaming on my favorite platform, Breakfast with Champions. Started in the throes of COVID, bringing people together who were lonely and who wanted to hear voices, real voices, and hear from other humans. And that included me. I'd go to the coffee shop. We had distancing at the time and businesses were still closed. I'd get 2 warm chocolate croissants and a cup of coffee and put on for hours and hear Glenn Lundy's voice. That's where I learned the art of personal development. Tell you the truth, people, I didn't know about personal development. I thought it was just for people like, I don't know, people like Trisha or Mary Kim, who lit candles and crossed their legs and chanted. That's what I thought personal development was. I'm like, ain't for me, not me. But Glenn just said it in a different way that I was like, oh. And so he introduced that to many of us for many years. Everybody, I'm going to pause. Say your name on mic if you wish. You don't have to. I have another segment to do. But if you want to join me, just say your name on mic and speak up. I'll pause for 10 seconds. Hey, Tim. Yeah. And TM, you know what I'm going through now? Stay with me for another minute here, TM, is that the struggle I'm having as a solopreneur. And again, I know scaling and build teams easier said than done. I say that because I posted something. People are like, Ramon, you need to scale. You need to build a team. You need to. Everything is a circle. But now that I'm being more focused on sales TM, easily an hour, 2, 3 hours a day. When I say sales TM, things like me going into my CRM, I have a leads tab. That means those who I haven't been in touch with, going on LinkedIn, seeing if they still work for the company. If they don't TM, updating the record, saying, that takes time, TM, because I have about 300 to 400 contacts and just leads, people who I can easily reach out to, not in my contacts now, which is about 100, who I've been in touch with. Again, that's my messy way. I'm sure there's a way to do better. But the point is, TM, I want you to comment on this, is that now that I'm doing sales, which is another time sink, another muscle, another thing that I wasn't doing, TM, now other things are dropping. So but as my coach said, she said, Ramona, this season, if you want to make money, you're going to have to then prioritize sales to bring in, 100,000, 200, 500,000. Then once you get that, now we can work on how we can ease it up and maybe you hire somebody, whatever. But any thoughts on that aspect of just as you do one other thing that you weren't doing, that's time in the day. Something has to give. Talk to me, Tim. Mm, yes. Hmm. Yeah. Or go live, TM. Go live and scroll political news. That's my downfall. Yeah. Mm, yes, TM. Hmm. Facts. Facts and TM, and this is Tim. Wow, wow. Tara said, "Let me grab my cup of coffee." And Tara, by the way, you're hearing the voice of my friend TM Hyman, America's favorite mentor, leadership on demand, Mav Reset, and more. But TM, you're exactly right, TM, and that's the season I'm in. Thank you for helping me state that more clearly. The things I love, as you all know. I love going live on video, moving my mouth and being a showman. I enjoy it. That's my thing. I like to think, and I don't have any shame on that. Number two, I love publishing content on Zone of Genius. I love scrolling like LinkedIn news, business news, things of that nature, CNBC all day long. But TM, as you said, yes, there's a part of that that's important because I've done it for years. But if seasons shift, Tim, more important, I got to go back to sales. Tim, America's favorite mentor, thank you so much, so much. Anybody else wanted to jump in? I'll pause for another 10 seconds. That's the longest I've ever paused in my life. Julie, what's up, Julie? Talk to me. Go ahead. Mm, mhm, mhm, mhm. Nope. Julie, thanks for being here. Julie, stay with me for a minute. Julie, you'll love this. We hinted about it yesterday. I think we were in a call yesterday. I didn't know how much 400 books were, Julie. I didn't know what it looked like. I never even heard of the word palette. So I had a speaker that we both know, that my favorite speaker, leave his name out for now. He said, "Yeah, I haven't, no, besides myself, as I arrogantly, but he said many years ago, you had a new book coming out. You buy 400 copies of my book for your event, I'll come by, and many speakers do that. So I bought 400 copies of his book, Julie. I didn't have the money. Ticket sales had not jumped in, but as an example, I put 400 copies of the book on my credit card. And next thing I know from the hotel, sir, we have a pallet. I'm like, what's a pallet? A pallet of books have come, small pallet. To my point, Julie, is I had to take, even then it was a small risk, buy 400 books to an event that I didn't know would work. I'm glad I did it. But Julie, going back to risk, if it didn't work, I at least knew we wouldn't starve. We may not have milk or meat for a few months, but we wouldn't starve. That as a family or business. But I had to make the bet. Thoughts on that, Julie? Anything, any comments on that? Yeah. Exactly. Hey, everybody on video, that's the voice of my other friend, Julie Loken, who's the co-founder of Creative Con, CRE8TI. You'll get the rest. Creative Con. All right, anybody next? We got plenty of time. Anybody next before I move on? Tyran, how are you, Tyran? Good to hear your voice and your spirit, and welcome to the community, man. Thanks for being here on the community, being here. Go ahead, Tyran. The mic is yours. Please. Mm, mhm. Yes. Mhm. Oh, Tyran, anytime, man. You're a valued host here, valued member of this community. So anytime you need the mic, you just come off mic and scream out and say it. But Tyran, you're so right. And even as I'm exercising the sales muscle, I'm beginning to enjoy it. It's now becoming a habit. And part of it is, Tyran, because I am seeing results. I'm seeing the power of follow up, the power of sending a deal, sending a proposal, the power of forcing in the app I'm using the percentage of success. So it's becoming enjoyable. And I can't wait until it grows and I get some cushion of cash beneath me, and then I can hire and figure out how to expand from there. So thank you, Tyran. Everybody, my name is Ramon Ray. I'm going to touch on quickly here and again. If you're hearing the sound of my voice, feel free to sign up to the Celebrity CEO Personal Branding Blueprint. Celebrity CEO Personal Branding Blueprint. I'm going to send you all these notes, about 17 tips. We may not go through all of it today, but somebody had asked me on LinkedIn, said, Ramon, I want to hire an agent to help me get on stages. Hey, Favor, good to have you here, man. Thanks, everybody, for being here. I want to get on more stages, so I want to know your thoughts on hiring an agent. Now, I've been a professional speaker for over 20 years. I spoke on stages with the best of the best: Deepak Chopra, Simon Sinek, Seth Godin, Lisa Nichols. I can name drop all of them. Gary Vaynerchuk, more and more and more. By God's grace, I'm my clients say I'm one of the best speakers that they've had. So I'm saying that credit to those who don't know me. I am a speaker. I've had speaking gigs from agents. If you Google my name, you'll see me listed on speaker bureaus. All that. So I just want to set the stage for why I have the authority to say what I'm saying. So let me quickly go through. I'm going to say these fast, or I should say them slow, but we'll see where they take it. But here's the point is, people say, Ramon, I want to get an agent. Here's the thing. We all want a talent agency to find deals for us on commission. But having said that, most agencies will list you. Many may list you, may, but they're not going to do the work for you. Why? Because they're already handling the deal flow for Adam Grant, Damon John, the astronauts who just landed, Captain Sully who flew the plane to the Hudson. That's what the agent wants. Why would the agent want to rep T.M. Hyman or Ramon Ray or Julie Logan or Tyran or Mary Kim go slog and work and hunt deals for you when they'd rather sit back at the inflow of people who are getting inflow come in and take a 30%, 20%, 10% commission. I just need you to understand that reality. Agencies can list hundreds of people on the site. All those people are not making money from an agent. So that's the thing. So those of you who want an agent, I'm not saying stop looking for one, but I'm trying to give you the reality, even the best of us, there's very few agents out there, agencies out there that are going to be hunting for deals and knocking down doors because they already have their sweet crop of clients. Many of them you may read, they're on CNBC, they're in Fox Business and New York Times, that they get the deal flow, that they can just manage the deal flow coming to them and ship them out, eat chips and take a commission check. Not saying they don't hunt. Not saying they don't go, hey, you have this big event with 20,000 people. You got this big business event happen. You got this event happening in other countries. Do you want to try this guy? No, they got that. But for a new, unproven speaker with no deal flow, you tell me, why in the heck should they have you? So, what's the alternative in the 4 minutes we have? What's the alternative? For most others, until we get the deal flow, until we may get an agency that can work with us, here's what I want to ask you. Do you have a speaker reel? Have you even done that work? Do you have a good speaker reel or is some busted? Let me just stop. Do you have a good speaker reel? Do you have a speaker one-pager? Do you showcase yourself on stages? One thing I've done in the past few weeks that I think, I don't have the science to prove it, but it feels like it's making a difference, is I'm showing myself on stages more speaking. I move my mouth a lot. You see solo videos of me, talking head videos of me, but I realize, welcome back, Tara, that I'm not showing myself on stages enough even. And then number D, the fourth point I'd say on this, about those of you who are looking to get an agent and be a speaker, are you a great speaker? Now keep in mind, everybody does not have to be a main stage theatrical, people crying and hooting and hollering and coming to the altar and whatever it is, Myron Golden speaker. Everybody doesn't have to have that calling. But I hear this from people so much, I want to be a speaker, I want to be a paid speaker. Ask yourself, are you a good speaker? Not good, are you an amazing speaker? This is what I would ask you. So my point is kind of like me at events. Instead of begging and begging and begging people to have you speak at their events, do the inner work yourself first. Do the hard work yourself first, and then see what happens. Then see what happens. Do you know how many Adam Grant, Oprah Winfrey, Simon Sinek's, astronauts, guy who has 3 legs and then became a dolphin? Those people are going to be on Ellen DeGeneres and wherever other famous show a day there is. People like us, regular people, it's tough. But I'll tell you how I'm getting my speaking gigs is what I said in the first part of the show, the tip for solopreneurs, building my relationships, building my network, and also showing up. Come on, Tara, showing up as who I want to be, showing up, in my case, as who I am. If you're trying to say you want to be on the main stage and be one of the best speakers in the world, why in the world then do I see a picture of you with a half-eaten freaking tuna fish sandwich in the basement bottom of some stank, water-dripping construction site, and that's a picture of you you're showing to me and saying you want to be a main stage speaker? It don't work that way, Michelle McLean. Come on now. It don't work that way. Listen, we got 1 minute to go. I'm going to turn it over to David Meltzer and team. My name is Ramon Ray. I'll leave one or two comments. Anybody else wanted to talk, and then we're going to turn it over and make a hard stop. David has a whole production and show. Want to make sure I give him and his team plenty of time. Anybody want to unmute, say your name, and join me for the last comment. Hey. Will you stomp on your feet, Michelle, and twirling your headscarf? Oh, boy. Thank you so much. Well, hey, everybody. My name is Ramon Ray. This is Breakfast with Champions, the Celebrity CEO Show. As I said, you want these tips for your business, you can get them at celebrityceo.com, celebrityceo.com. I talked about 8 tips for solo entrepreneurs, and I have a full topic here about how to get an agent to help you be a speaker.